This week on NOMOFOMO, we're getting into movies!
Movies we love. Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Movies we hate. Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
And movies we've seen 1,000 times. Grace too.
Along with all the 2019 movie sequels that we are gagging for.
Let's get into it.
Hey there, NOMOFOMO listeners. We're back.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for listening to us again.
Absolutely. Well, we've had a little bit of a break, but now we are back to our regularly scheduled program.
That's
I know,
right.
and I love it.
I love it
Same.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the highlight of our week, so we hope it's your highlight too.
Yes, we're back in the house.
Uh-huh.
Now this week, our theme that we're going to try and stay on track on this time, it could be hard, but we're going to do our best.
Oh, I think it'll be good.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be, this is our movie episode.
Uh-huh.
Hallelujah. We've been waiting for this one.
I know.
So many movies. So
We
many
always
things
get
to talk
into it,
about.
and I feel like we all have so much passion for it that
Yes.
it was only a matter of time. And so, let's get into it. But, first of all, let's go off topic,
Okay, done.
as we do. And let's talk about what happened to us this week. Allie, what happened to you this week? Let's start with you.
Well, I had to go to the dentist, which was a whole thing. I hate going to the dentist.
The sound.
It's the smell, it's the sound. Like, I went in for a cleaning probably about, 4 weeks ago. And they found not one, not two, not three, but 4 fillings that I had to go and get cavities that I had to get filled. Like, what am I, 12? What's happening?
You're too sweet.
Oh, thanks,
That's
girl.
what's happening.
Okay, fine, I'll take it. But no, seriously, they were like, okay, so there was 2 fillings that I had that needed to be replaced, and then I had 2, I know this is probably the most boring conversation, but I had 2 in my back teeth that are called
Your wisdom teeth.
wisdom teeth. And then they tried to tell me that I need to get my wisdom teeth out, and I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not getting my wisdom teeth out because I know me. You know what's going to happen? I'll get them out. I'll be off of work for like 5 weeks because there'll be like some weirdy thing that would happen, and I was like, no. So anyway, I had to get 4 fillings filled, and it was a whole thing. My jaw
sure.
still hurts. It was 2.5 hours of my mouth open.
Oh, that's...
Girl.
Oh, those jokes are endless.
Yeah,
Oh.
I knew it was coming. I'm ready.
I know.
ready.
I'm literally
ready.
biting my bottom lip right now.
Why? Don't. Say whatever you got to.
Because what if your mom is listening?
I can take... Okay, my mom is not listening to NOMOFOMO. I don't even think she can, like, figure out how to... She just got onto Facebook. Let's give her that, you know? Podcasts are a whole new
Snaps.
thing. Yeah, snaps for mom. She just got onto Facebook. So anyway, that's what happened to me. Like, that was the most exciting thing that happened to me this week. So
Aw,
that can tell you how exciting this week really was.
We're happy you're alive. You made it.
And my teeth is good.
Well, you're opulent and you own everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you, because on that note, my week, I was going to talk about what happened to me this week. We'll save the best for last.
All
Carla.
right. Okay.
Kiki, Carla. But my week was all, for me, I feel like the theme was self-care.
Love.
You know, we have been really busy. We've been on the go, traveling all over the place. And it was just kind of nice to be home for a week. Right? Like catching up on work, catching up on the chores, all the rest of it. And, you know, on the topic of self-care, I had a new experience this week.
Ooh.
What?
I had my nostrils waxed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yes.
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 I didn't know this was a thing. I thought it was going to hurt like Jesus just kicked me in the face.
Yes.
It didn't hurt at all.
Really?
No.
No, it
was fine.
I've had it done, and we actually were at my parents' house, and my cousin Shafros,
Yeah.
who is a beauty queen. Like
It's sickening.
she knows.
She's too
well,
pretty.
she's gorge,
Yeah.
but also she knows everything and anything under the sun about skincare. You ask her anything, she knows the oils that's gonna fix whatever, the collagen, the this, that, the. She's amazing. So she did mine, and I came home, and I was like, Jason, this feels amazing, because as men, I feel like we get like weirdy,
Yes.
long, well, especially like as a brown guy, I have like long, gross, thick hairs that come out. I know it's too much information, but whatever. It's NOMOFOMO,
It's our podcast.
and we'll do what we
Yeah.
want.
Talk about our
But yeah,
hair.
no, it feels amazing. So sorry to take that.
No,
away
it
from you,
does.
Jason,
And
but-
you know what? No, like I said, I really thought I was going to be screaming my head off.
Yes.
You know, because I think I've watched too many YouTube videos where, you know, some girl is doing her grandpa's nose hair, and he's probably never tweezed one in his whole life. And so when it comes time, and it looks like they're sticking like a tampon in the wax and then up the old man's face. And so when they yank it out, they are pulling the hairs out of his brain.
All the hairs.
Like, it is,
no
it is
wonder.
nasty. But it was totally good. And can you see? Carla, look, I have, like, you can't see anything.
No, it looks like you're like 10 years
I know.
old. Yes.
I'm a child. So thank you, Chef Rose. And you know what? Now that we have crossed this barrier in our comfort zone together, I'm going to have you work your way down.
Oh, yes.
All the parts that need to get waxed.
Yes.
You better just double up on your wax order.
Oh my God, get ready, Chef Rose.
Because it's happening. And here's even better news, is that Chef Rose told us yesterday that she is a registered nurse, and she's considering getting her license to do Botox.
Yes, yes. We need this.
We all need the Botox. Well, I mean, I do. You guys don't.
Not
You're
everybody
beautiful.
needs the Botox.
You don't, because you're brown. And Carla, you've got beautiful bangs, so, you know.
It covers all.
And just natural beauty. But, you know, we're not getting any younger. And Chef Rose, go get that class done.
Get on it.
There you go.
Yeah, we can do some Juvederm. But you know what, though? I saw something on the internet yesterday, and it's like a piece of tape that you can, like, basically you take the skin at the nape of your neck. So nape means the back. And you make, like, a little, like, you know, pizza slice with it. Like, you fold your skin like a bum, and then you put this tape there, and then you have to make sure you have long enough hair that it covers it.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Short hair and you see this. Or wear a turtleneck.
You're like, I saw that on the internet, so I thought it was going to be okay. Isn't everybody doing it? It's like, no, girl. Cover it up with your hair.
Okay, so did you try? Did you order it?
Not yet, but like I have some duct tape.
Well, you don't need to.
Duct tape will work.
Yeah, duct tape is good. So I'll start working on it.
Yeah.
And then so it just like pulls your turkey neck back, and so so I'm working on that until Chef Rose gets that Botox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know what? Maybe we can order this for our moms for Mother's Day.
That's a beautiful.
As a
Yes.
stocking stuffer, a Mother's Day stocking stuffer. Here's your. Although my mom has, well, your mom too, Allie's mom. We both have moms with really short hair, so we'll have to maybe
that's
get them
not
a
gonna
nice
work.
scarf to go over top or something.
Well, our moms are always cold, so
That's true.
that
They're
would
always
work out
cold.
just fine.
They probably need like winter scarves, so
Done.
that's fine.
There you go.
Oh my god! Or just when they're not looking.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely. That's like a scene out of Ab Fab when Patsy's sister came to town, and then Adina was like looking for like facelift scars. It's like the best thing ever. So it's just the reverse. This is like you don't need the facelift, but you can still do that. You can put the duct tape like right above your ear, and then you can like anchor it with some string, pull it back, and then maybe put on like a nice little sort of like driving scarf that you just tie under your
Big
Very
pair of
Thelma and
sunglasses.
Louise.
Totally.
Yes.
Maybe that's the new look.
Yeah,
okay,
totally.
maybe we're onto something.
I think so. What happened to you this week?
Well, I had a very busy week because I was planning my drag calendar. So there's
so many
much
things.
drag coming to town.
I mean, we're canceling all of our summer holidays because we're broke now.
Yeah. Oh, completely.
Oh my God, these tickets ain't cheap, girl.
No. However, for somebody like Alyssa Edwards, for $30,
Oh, that's good.
to see a 2-hour show.
Yes, please.
I mean, it is shockingly affordable. So we've got everything. We've got Alyssa Edwards coming. We've got Plastic Tiara. We've got Ariel, Versace. We've got Latrice Royale.
Right.
Edith. We've got
Bianca.
I know,
in
Bianca Del
November.
Rio. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. We've got Work the World. We've got all the season 11 queens. We've got another Work the World with the season, with the top 4 of season 10 as well. There's so much. And this is just the beginning. Like, I feel like somebody who's like in sport ball when they're like in like the high season. What do they call that in sport ball? High season.
Playoffs or something?
Something like that. Yeah. So I feel like I'm in that. Like,
I'm looking at you blankly right now. I'm like just like blinking my eyes at you.
Totally.
And I'm like,
what are you
High
talking about?
season?
No, we're gonna have to stop.
high season, like hotel. So we're like now in like travel
it's busy.
high season.
It's busy.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
busy. Yeah,
But
okay.
in terms of, I do feel like this is what it must feel like to be like a sport ball person.
Well, and
when
we're
their
gonna have to-
teams
when
are
they get all
are
excited.
going for the big, trophy.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have to
Yes.
stop judging people for buying like $300 tickets to playoff games because
True.
we're kind of, well, I mean, look, none of them are $300, but
Yeah.
they're adding up.
It's true.
think it's worth
it adds
it.
up. It's so worth it.
It is worth it. But also, we're getting entertained to the level of, like, beyondness.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, just going to watch a hockey game is like, alright. Like, sometimes it's not even great. Like, you can go and your team could lose. But when we go to watch drag, we all win.
That was the best statement I've ever heard.
Thank you.
Snaps.
Thanks a lot.
And we can get better cocktails. We don't have to just get like
I know, like, weird
Craft
beer.
beer.
hockey game,
Yes.
like be draft beer that is gonna for
100%.
sure upset your stomach. You know, we can get vodka sodas.
Yes. And we're not eating, and we're barely
No.
even drinking because you're dancing, you're
Totally.
having fun. So you save a ton of money there. And you can wear all your fabulous clothes because you're
Totally.
just sitting in some seat.
Yeah, you're not wearing a weirdy jersey that's like 800 sizes too big.
Okay, we have just rationalized all of our decisions. Thank you, Kiki Carla.
Perfect.
Oh, my
Perfect.
pleasure.
There you go.
And by the way, on the topic of self-care, before we get into movies,
Yes.
your bangs look glorious.
Thank you. The ladies at Head Candy hooked me up yesterday.
Yes, girl, you look good.
And we did a whole photo shoot. They put me in the ring light. So I had a moment of
God.
self-care too.
Oh,
Can
we need ring lights
we
on
need to
everything.
have, we have to have a moment for the ring light because that makes everybody's skin look so good.
so
It's
good.
like you just woke up from like a 72-hour nap and you had everything done to you. You've just been in the sun. You look great. Like it's a beaut. We'll post those on our social media so you can see Kiki Carla looking at her best.
Okay,
Yes,
so
honey.
exciting.
All right. So we're gonna get right into it with our movies. Now I think we almost had to pull ourselves back because there were so many things to talk about.
Well, there are.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we all have our own opinions.
Yes.
So let's just dive right in. Let's talk a little bit about, okay, what are the movies? Let's start with the movies that everyone seems to love, but we just don't get.
I'll go first.
Go
Okay.
first.
The Godfather.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Marlon Brando, and I believe that was Scorsese
Yes.
directed.
Yes.
And I just don't get it. It's boring. No, thank you.
Okay.
Like, I don't get it. I don't know why this is exciting for people. So I know that it's controversial, but, you know, I stand by my decision.
well, and that shit's
is-
like 2 days long.
Oh, fuck.
And there's also there's like so many. There's The Godfather 2 and The Godfather 3, and for me too, it's like I actually started watching it because I'm like, you know what, everybody can't love this movie for no reason. I'm like, I'll give it
Sure,
a go. I
yeah.
will give it a go. And it was a Sunday afternoon. Started watching it. Honestly, like a minute into the movie where there's this whole like beautiful like wedding scene, and I was like, okay, I can get into this.
This is
cool.
weddings.
This is nice.
Yes.
And then it was just too much talking and not enough action, and I was just like, I can't.
No.
It's the endless dialogue. That's what
is.
always gets us.
Yeah.
When there's too much dialogue.
Exactly. We need a
totally.
hook.
We need a hook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm with you on that one for sure.
You know what? I think that I'm on the same page as you because my choice
Mm-hmm.
is I think that I don't like it for one of the same reasons, and that is Vicky Cristina Barcelona. Okay? Or really anything by Woody Allen.
How dare you?
No, it is unwatchable.
It is not.
Okay? First of all, the storyline is just boring. It's like, okay, well,
What? You just took my favorite movie away from me.
no, well, you can watch it on your own time. Like,
I do.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, I do.
You know, we don't
watch it
have
on
to
my own
watch
time.
everything together. But, you know, it's too long, too much dialogue. And then I always find that, like, that movie and any Woody Allen movie, the storyline is never fully realized. You know, like, it always seems to just end, and I'm always left with this, well, what happened?
Right. There's no, like, big conclusion.
There's no conclusion.
But there doesn't necessarily have to be. There's a lot of like, you know, indie movies that we've watched that don't necessarily have like a end or, you know, like a the end, happy ending or somebody dies or whatever. What I love about Vicky Cristina Barcelona is that it's just shot so beautifully. The music, the soundtrack is awesome. Like you can watch it and it's just like a beautiful movie to watch because of the scenery and all of that. The acting might not be that great. I love it. I think it's great. The storyline for me worked really well, but I just think it's a beautifully shot movie, you know?
And I know why that all came about because basically like major cities, especially European cities, reach out to Woody Allen and ask him to shoot in their city.
Well,
So-
Midnight in Paris
Is
okay.
incredible.
That one
movie is
I
so
liked
good.
a little bit more, but only because who doesn't love Paris? I mean,
Oh,
Paris
exactly.
is the best.
Also,
so,
who doesn't love Barcelona?
Well, I love Barcelona.
well,
yeah.
we all love Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona
But-
is amazing.
Paris is next level. I mean, it was so beautiful.
Completely.
But again, like, I think if I watched it on mute, that would have been fine.
Wow. Okay, well, you just go back to your Christmas vacation.
Oh.
Whoa, nobody can touch Christmas Vacation. That is like the movie of the cinch. Oh,
All right.
God,
Well, let's
it's
hear
so
from
good.
you there, smartass. What?
Okay, for me,
What is unwatchable? Like the one that everybody loves, but you just don't get.
oh God, okay, and people are gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna say Star Wars.
I get
Oh.
you.
You
Yeah.
know, and
Oh.
I honestly, I know we know a lot of our people that love Star Wars. Like, they're into it, it's all good. But for me, I have not even watched a single one. And I don't even know how many, I don't know, there's like 5 or something.
Oh,
but
there's so
There's
many.
like
There's too
50s.
many.
yeah, there's a lot, and I cannot get into them. I don't know, I just can't.
Okay.
I can't get
but,
into it.
Oh, and you know, Star Wars isn't even just a movie or set of movies. It's a lifestyle.
Completely.
You can't just watch Star Wars. I mean, I guess you could, but you need to, like, people live it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and we have some dear friends who I know listen to our podcast.
Yes.
And we're going to have one of them on in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Yes.
And he is probably going to tear you apart.
No tea, no shade. That's it. Like,
That's okay.
you know, that's
We
okay.
can take it.
Oh, absolutely.
okay.
But it's just one of those things where I just haven't necessarily gotten into it. So that's probably my pick. That one of those movies that everybody loves, but I'm just kind of.
I like the Ewoks, and I like Princess Leia's bikini,
Sure.
and I like her hair, and
Yeah.
I like the white gown that she was wearing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fashion.
Totally.
Yeah.
But then everything else, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it was super fun at Disney. And like, speaking of that, they're making a whole like, it's called Galaxy's Edge. And they're making a whole land based on like the newer movies. And when you talk about the lifestyle, this is like next level. Like, you can make your own lightsaber that costs $200 US. You can there's like a whole costume shop. So that it'll be like a full Comic-Con there every single day.
Wow.
So when you say, and you can make your own droid, is that what it's called? Like your own,
Like a robot?
like your own
Or your own
R2D2.
R2D2?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes,
I don't even know. I can't even believe I know that.
I know. So like it's like going to be so expensive. So when you say it's a lifestyle, it is going on next level now. Like Star Wars Disney is taking all those people to the bank.
It's through and through. Like, even if you go to any sort of Comic-Con, right? Like, there are just people that are obsessed with it, and that's great. And you love it. That's more power to you. I just am not.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They probably think that we are completely cracked for the amount of time we spend talking about dragons.
True.
So
Yeah,
that's it.
exactly.
Wait a minute. Don't get it twisted. Half of them are probably at, like, DragCon.
Maybe.
Yeah.
True.
So let's on the flip side, what are the movies that are underrated?
I'll go first.
Go.
Grease 2.
Oh, how did we know?
I've been waiting for this moment for so long where I have the mic. So just listeners, just let you know, this is going to be like a good half an hour that we're going to be spending on Grease 2. No, for real. So of course we had Grease, which was adapted from a Broadway show. So, that sort of fascination with the 50s, and Grease is magical, as we know. And of course, John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John putting it to life. It was fantastic. It was like a huge blockbuster hit in 1978. So then in 1982, they decide, hey, let's remake it. Let's reverse the roles.
Yeah.
And so they made a Grease 2, set in the 60s. And so, same kind of idea, like that, taste, like that kiss back to that nostalgia, and some might argue that it's the worst soundtrack ever. It might be the worst acting ever. It might be the lowest production value. It might be recycling old jokes from the first one. The lyrics might be the worst you've ever heard. However,
You're not overselling it here, are you?
my argument that it is the biggest feminist manifesto I've ever ever seen. Because here's the thing. So normally movies are like about a boy or a man who, you know, he starts off at point A and then he evolves through the help of the women in his life and the other people.
Sure.
And then he becomes this fully realized man. But here's what happens in Grease 2. It's to Stephanie Zanoni, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. So there, right there, it's the feminist manifesto because it's all on her. And then there's a scene that tries to be date rapey. And then, no, she's like, you're never gonna get it, never gonna get it. And yes. And also, then Paulette, who is the daughter of Julie Garland in real life, she gets slut shamed for being, you know, like a big bombshell and like having curves and being sensual. She tries to get slut shamed, but then at the end of it, she just says, I am who I am. And that's it. So there you go. It's a feminist manifesto. And I would argue that the soundtrack is amazing. I mean, there's such songs as Who's That Guy?
Oh.
And Cool Rider. So, you know, Michael disguises himself. He puts on a pair of goggles and no one knows who he is. And he disguises his English accent with American accent and no one knows who he is. And it is pure cinematic masterpiece.
Your enthusiasm for this movie is next level.
Thank you.
I can see the joy like oozing out of your pores. There's like rainbow beams coming out from behind your head. I need to rewatch it.
You should, yes, and you will love it.
2 decades since I've watched this movie,
You will love
I need
it.
to rewatch it.
Yeah, and like the lyrics from the songs. I mean, you know, when it gets a bit date rapey, when they have a song called "I'm Going Prowlin'," I walk talk like a T-bird. You might think it's a little simple, but you know what? Just keep going with it, and then you'll see that it is the feminist manifesto of our time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Jason, what's yours?
Oh, okay. So this one, I had to really think about it because there's so many.
Right?
So many good ones, and I love movies. But the more I think about it, the more I really, really want to talk about Coming to America.
Okay.
And I'm
You're
wearing my
the
Zamunda t-shirt. I was so lucky because Carla pulled my name for our group Christmas gifting last year, and she made me a Zamunda t-shirt that, as you said, that the t-shirt shop didn't actually want to print this, and you had to tell them, no, it's not a real country. To me, it is real. You know, I was watching and I'm like, Allie, where is Zamunda as an African-born person? Where is Zamunda?
Wow.
Like, where do the people wear those amazing... Let's talk about the costumes, first of all.
Oh.
The costumes in this movie did not get enough credit.
Exactly.
The costume designer should have won all the awards.
Everything.
Did not.
Until today. They should still be winning all the awards.
Yes.
She should have been snatching trophies.
Oh, completely.
Okay. The giant turbans on these Africa ladies, these
Head wraps.
Zamundans,
Head wraps,
the
darling.
head wraps
Yes.
were sensational.
Oh.
The prints, next level.
Yes.
Can we just talk for a second about the engagement dress that his queen to be was wearing? It was all gold. It had a train as long as a football field.
Oh,
See, I do know a little
so-
bit about sport ball.
Right?
And then she had to bark like a dog. And you know what I love? Oof, oof. The best part of it all is that as she was jumping, her gown was making so much noise on that marble floor.
So good.
Oh, everything about it was so good.
Chills.
Now, I mean, I think we all know what happened in this movie, right? He decides that she's not the right woman for him.
No.
You know, arranged marriages,
Yeah.
you know, he's just not feeling it.
He needs to sow his royal oats.
So his royal oath. So where does he go?
Queens.
Just, you know, the best. I love a good fish out of water story. But
Right?
especially when it's like the rich person going into the poor lifestyle.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's always good to watch like the poor person going into the rich lifestyle. But
course.
the reverse is even better, especially when they get a job working at McDowell's. Because they couldn't get the licensing from McDonald's. So McDowell's. So many good moments in that movie. I could go on. I could have a monologue about this movie. My favorite scene, though,
Tell us.
this is the best scene in the whole movie.
Okay.
Is when they decide they need to go to a bar and start meeting women.
Yes.
And they need to audition these ladies. Of course, they don't know that they're rich.
Yes.
And so they're just talking. And there's one where this woman is a rapper.
Yes.
And I remember the rap. It was like
Do
this.
it.
My name is Peaches, and I'm the best. All the DJs want to feel my breast. And she's got this. Oh, she's so good. Peaches rocked. Oh, there were so many good ones. There were twins.
Oh, I remember them.
They were like said something about how they were actually joined at birth. So good. And then there was one who was really into the occult, and as she was talking, she held her palm over a lighter, and she was just and it was like burning her hand, but she didn't even flinch. So good. So good. And you know what? In the end, well, I don't want to give it away, but I think that they lived happily ever after.
I think they sure did. I think that was the conclusion. I think they let their soul glow.
The soul glow! Funniest moment of the movie.
When they get off the couch.
When they get off the couch. 3 people on the couch with their head full of soul glow, and there's 3 giant wet spots on the couch. And this is what I love, is when you rewatch a movie this many times, and you start spotting these little jokes that you missed in the first, second, third, fourth, 15th time.
Exactly.
The 16th time, all of a sudden you're like,
oh my
holy shit! So good.
Oh, I love it.
Allie, what movie do you have this much enthusiasm for?
Well, you know what, for me, I was gonna say Woody Allen, but you took that away from me this morning when we were talking. But like,
sorry.
mine was definitely talking about Woody Allen movies and how I feel like they are underrated. Most people watch them or they don't even try to watch them, but I think that he has a certain, I don't know, way of shooting his films that are so beautiful.
Okay, sell us on one of them.
Secondly, I also want to talk about like older movies. I think a lot of people don't watch older movies.
True.
And this is going to, my best friend Roz, who I talk about all the time on this podcast, her and I have this affinity for old movies like Pillow Talk with like Doris Day.
Ooh la la.
You know, like those kind of movies are so romantic and so beautiful to watch, and they're so well shot again. But the storylines are they're a little basic, but they're just a lovely thing to watch. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no theatrics, and there's no kind of crazy animation or, you know, things blowing up or anything like that. But it's just really cute and fun to watch. So those are the kind of movies. How to Marry a Millionaire with Lauren Bacall and oh my God, Marilyn Monroe. Oh my God, they're
Some
such
Like It Hot.
good. Yes, Some Like It Hot. Oh my God, these movies are so fantastic. And if you watch them for nothing else but just to see what they're wearing, come on.
Right?
It's their costumes are incredible, and then they have these like amazing scores, and it's like you know, they have these huge elaborate costumes and the numbers and with the feathers and the this
feathers,
totally
not turkey.
No, honey, never turkey feathers. Ostrich always. They're so incredible, and I love them. And you know, again, Jason never watches them with me, so anytime Roz comes to stay over at our house for the weekend, that's kind of what we do on a Sunday afternoon.
And I go upstairs and rewatch Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Which also is a great movie. I enjoy that movie quite often. We watch it every time it comes on. But I just feel like people need to start watching those old movies again because I think they're just so incredible.
Okay, so speaking of rewatching, our last topic we wanted to talk about, what would you say are what's the movie that you think you've watched the most number of times?
I'll go first. Grease 1. So
Here we go.
So if you want me to, I can reenact it word for word. I remember when I was in junior high, I wanted to do Summer Nights as like a lip sync, and no one was understanding, you know, like the gravitas of having that back and forth, you know, boy girl kind of a thing. So, you know, it's just been a dream since then. So maybe I just need to mount a lip sync version of Grease.
Okay, well, maybe that needs its own podcast.
Absolutely.
Our own mini-mofo.
Mini-mo, exactly. And I finally got a Pink Lady jacket after all these years.
Okay.
So I'm living my Pink Lady fantasy on a daily.
Love it.
Yes, you are.
Allie, which one do you think you've watched the most times?
Shawshank Redemption, y'all.
Oh, that's a hard one to not watch.
I have seen that movie countless number of times because it's one of those movies that's kind of always on a Sunday morning
Right.
or on a Sunday afternoon or on a Saturday, and it's like those are the times where you're just kind of chilling out, don't want to do anything, and you're like, yes, I will watch that movie, and I will cry at the very end because it is such a good movie.
Get busy living or get busy dying, right?
That's right.
That's it.
I'm gonna
Good
get
for
that as
you.
my next tattoo.
Yeah, you better.
Anyway, that's the movie I think I've watched the most times for sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Mine is an easy one because I went through a phase in the 90s
Yes.
where I was working in restaurants.
Yes.
I was living my life like a vampire. You know, up all night, sleep all day.
Sure.
All that stuff. And I watched Pulp Fiction easily at least once a month for that entire decade.
Yeah.
And I did actually watch it again about a year ago.
Yes.
I had to go take a break because, you know, now we can stream. We don't have to watch the same DVD or VHS over and over and over.
Exactly.
But Pulp Fiction, it's all there.
Yeah.
It is all there. And talk about those movies where after you watch it, you start to see the subtleties in it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. It's so good. It's so dark. It's so twisted, and I loved it.
And that
also-
soundtrack.
You
Soundtrack?
took the words right out of my
Sorry.
mouth.
Sorry.
The soundtrack, and that's what a lot of people forget is that you know when you used to watch movies and then go out and buy the sound like the CD
Yes.
soundtrack,
Yes,
like
or
that
the
was
cassette.
That is when you knew it's like okay, God, this is great.
Absolutely.
And I feel like soundtrack CDs and cassettes were so great because you just got such a broad range of music, right? So, yeah, soundtracks I think are also, like, I mean, you don't really get those anymore, do you? Do you
I
get
got one.
soundtracks?
I got one for Christmas. A Star is Born.
Oh,
Because I love that
of
so
course,
much.
yes.
And I do
yes.
actually listen
Okay.
to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because Lady Gaga, come on.
Well, and that also has brought in because there was a long time where like before sort of Black Panther, like there was a long time where like the movie wasn't getting specially commissioned songs for the
Right,
movie, which was
totally.
like that's how it was in the 80s and the 90s. So like
They
the
just
soundtrack
used
was
whatever.
everything exactly, and so now it seems like there's a little bit of a revival with that. So
Yeah.
I hope that continues.
Yeah, well, and that actually takes us right into our streaming club.
Oh yes.
And this week, even, you know what, my brother actually sent me a text yesterday, and he's like, can you send me the podcast about Motley Crue? I'm like, well, we haven't recorded it yet, but I'm so glad you're this enthusiastic about our podcast. And so this was our project for the week,
Yes.
was to watch The Dirt
Yes.
with Motley Crue. I'd already watched it. Carla, you watched it.
I
Allie
did.
watched it in the dentist chair.
I did. Well, I had 2.5 hours to kill, so what the hell? What else am I going to do? And it's great that my dentist actually had Netflix, so I was like, all right, this is perfect. Let's put it on and see what happens.
I watched it on a flight, and it was funny because I downloaded it onto my tablet, and as soon as it came on, you know, I'm sitting in the aisle seat.
Oh, girl,
there are
that
some
it is
scenes.
so dirty.
Oh my God, there are some scenes.
And there was all these, because it was spring break, so all these families are behind me, beside me, and all of a sudden there's like full frontals galore all over my tablet. I think, oh, I'm going to get kicked off this flight. Like, I'm going to end up on a list. So I had to kind of subtly, you know, re-angle my tablet.
That is so funny. As a little side note, not to take away, but it's just like when you are watching a movie, and you know, sometimes they have movies that you can watch that are on the back of the seats or whatever.
Sure.
And sometimes they's nasty. Like
Yes.
there's some sex scenes and stuff. So when you're watching it and there's like a little kid sitting beside you,
Yes.
or like, you know, you kind of feel a bit weirdy about it because
Completely.
you're like, you kind of get shy and you're like, oh my God, like when you were a kid and like a sex scene comes on, you're watching a movie with your parents, you're
Yes.
like, do I look away or do I, what do I
do?
do?
Well, this is one of the beautiful things I think about being Canadian, is that our airlines are a little bit more generous.
Yes, they're more chill.
With the full frontals. So thank you, WestJet. Thank you, Air Canada.
Hooray for the P and the P.
Yeah.
Yay.
Full frontals for everybody. Okay, so let's just talk about The Dirt.
Okay.
So, you know, first impressions. What do we think? How do we feel?
Well, we just talked about P and P. Here's another P, Purell. I needed to Purell my screen. I needed to Purell my eyes a
Yeah.
little
All the
bit.
things.
Yeah, hot showers for everybody after watching The Dirt.
I think I like gargled with like rubbing alcohol a little bit. So it was obviously meant to reflect that time, which was, you know, like if you watch the Motley Crue videos, like for Kickstart My Heart, it's just, you know, helicopters and guns and you know, race cars and crashes and all this kind of stuff.
And a lot of tits.
Oh, so many tits. So exactly. I mean, that part, that sort of like objectifying women. I mean, that was very much like part of who they were as, you know, a band. And I'm sure it's part of who they are now, which is why it made it into the movie. It wasn't like they were trying to come around and be like, we're changed, we're good guys. They very much wanted us to know how much persistence they had, and I did say persistence.
Now, do you think this came out at the right time? Because I was reading one article where they're saying, like, maybe this should have been left in the 80s, or maybe if this would have come out in the 90s, it would have had a different reaction. But now we're living in this Me Too movement.
Yes.
And, you know, Netflix comes out with it in 2019, and you know, these boys is nasty.
I know.
Yes.
They are bad boys.
Let's just talk about relevancy. Mm-hmm. This movie had it's not relevant anymore. Nobody, like when I watched it, I was like, okay, well, I'm just watching it because Jason asked me to. It wouldn't be a movie that I would watch because when I was watching it, I was like, this is so stupid. The way that these idiots were acting, like they were throwing TVs out their hotel windows and just trashing everything, and it's just like, what? I don't even understand that. Why were people all over like, yeah, trash everything, make people feel stupid about themselves, do drugs and almost die and then come back and then do them, like, it's just, I was watching that, like, everything about it, I was like, oh my God.
See,
I was getting so mad.
This is the point. This is what got them so famous, is they were two things. They were dangerous and they were glamorous. I mean, Motley Crue, they were like the original drag queens. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
Only with way bad wigs.
Their wigs.
Strongly disagree with that statement.
The 80s, I think it was their real hair.
It was
so it was okay, but this movie, the wig work was bad.
Also, there's a reason why there was not a single colored person in that movie. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but it was all white people, and all the white people were watching all these other white people act completely stupid on stage, and I'm like, this is why no colored person, because they were like, yeah, we're not even about this crazy ass shit. Sorry, we're not showing our tits off, so we can get banged by 7 of these guys. Like, weird, gross, no thank you. This was not a brown thing. It wasn't like it was a white people thing.
No, it was a white people thing.
Completely.
And, you know, the reason why I was so excited to watch it is because my cousins loved Motley Crue. Like, I think some of them actually have tattoos of Motley Crue on their body. Like, they were obsessed. And I know that the last time they toured, which was just, I don't know, it was like not.
It was fairly
few years
recent.
ago.
I think it was like 2015 or maybe earlier than that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they've had a recent
resurgence?
maybe not resurgence, but I think
they just ran out of money and needed to do something.
Exactly. I think a check is a check.
Yeah.
No, and they were jacked. Like, these are people who, like, they are gonna spend all their money on those front row tickets so that they can see. It's like us with Bianca Del Rio.
True, yeah.
And really, it's about the same amount of makeup. So I get it. Yeah, I don't know. What else? What else we need to talk about this movie?
I mean, we said they needed wig consultants.
Wig consultants for sure.
Absolutely. They needed acting coaches.
Oh, yeah. The acting was bad.
Oh my God.
Acting was so bad. When they would like break the fourth wall for like the 50th time, we're like, we get it. You're being edgy. You're breaking that wall. You're talking to us. You're saying Motley fucking Crue. And, you know, like you said, they're trying so hard to have something be kind of cool again, you know, and when they're showing like, here's real life Tommy Lee and look at he's so cool still and all that, and here's real life Nikki Sixx and all this, and it's just like, no, we don't care. We only cared when Tommy Lee was with Pamela Anderson.
And
they didn't even talk about that.
I know.
Which was unfortunate because I wanted some Pamela Anderson Lee.
Yes.
But were they dating when they were in Motley Crue? Like, is that
No,
how
I think
far
they had
back?
broken up already.
Oh, okay.
And
So I
he
think
was-
like reunion time, around the reunion time, they would have been together. right?
Maybe, I don't know. We'll
I
have to
don't
check
know.
into our timeline.
Okay, so my most favorite part of the movie was, speaking of bad acting, was when, you know, the lead singer kind of goes away, and then, you know, his daughter has cancer and she passes away, and then they're trying to do that new album.
Yes.
And he's not showing up at rehearsals, and then they finally call him, or they send him a fax.
Yes.
And he sees the fax, and the fax comes in, and he's like, ugh, ugh, and he's getting so mad, and he gets in his car, and he goes to the studio, and he like rushes into the door, and he's like, you know what, you guys? This album is stupid. I'm like, what? That's what you say? This album is stupid? Like, I was like, oh my God.
After you've like snorted $1,000 a day of crack and heroin and cocaine, and you've destroyed every hotel room, and then you're like, you guys are stupid. I'm taking my ball and going home.
Well, you know,
oh my God.
I think the biggest problem with this movie, even though I did like it, is that, you know, if they would have just kept it silly and stupid and ridiculous, great. But then they tried to make it, like, emotional.
Exactly.
They tried to have those tender moments where he's, you know, he's holding his sick daughter.
Yes.
And the acting, like, that's where the acting just gets so offensive.
Totally. Or when Nikki Sixx is like, it's because of, you know, I was just longing for my mother. And I think that that's what I was expecting when I saw the trailer. I was just expecting the camp and the focus on sort of the aesthetic of that time. You know, I was hopeful for that because I love watching like the hair band music videos, like Bon Jovi and
some Hot for Teacher.
For sure, absolutely. Like I love their aesthetic. I love how ridiculous they were, like in pursuing this look.
See, I'm all about that. The looks, the, you know, the campy stuff, like kind of keep it funny and hilarious. Yeah. Like don't try to make it super serious because it's just not going to go well.
Mm-hmm. You know what I did like about these guys though is that it did kind of come back at the end is that they were brothers.
True.
You know, like some of them, of course, they had bad upbringings. They didn't really have relationships with their family. But these guys were like, no, these guys are my bros.
Yeah.
You know, and that, they could have leaned into that a little bit. I would have liked to have seen more, you know.
Yeah.
Early on, you know, they're like banging each other's fiancés and, you know, getting all fucked up before the wedding and all the rest of it. I think I wanted a little bit more, like, togetherness.
Got you.
Because there was probably a lot more of that, but... You know, they're retelling this story as the way they want to retell it. They don't want to be perceived as a bunch of pussies who are like, you know, oh, my buddy, my bestie. No, they're like, no, we want to tell, like, the dirt.
Exactly.
And we got it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure that Netflix will, because I'm sure, like, a zillion people have already watched it, so I'm sure that they'll do a Dirt 2.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
so
where are they now?
I mean, this did come out hot on the heels of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, this is it.
Which
that didn't
was
happen
done
for no
so
reason.
nicely, even though it wasn't without its flaws. You know, but this is just...
This is
it's worth a watch.
Is filled with flaws.
It is unapologetically flawed.
Here's the thing, because we've all been there when we're like, what the heck are we gonna watch now?
Yes.
And you're just kind of like scrolling through, and it's like 45 minutes later, you still haven't found anything.
Yes.
Just make that on your list to just watch.
Yeah.
And even if you watch 25 minutes of it and then say, okay, I can't do it anymore, or you watch the full thing, but just. Yeah.
And you know what? Boobs are really beautiful, so watch it for the boobs.
So there's that.
Wait till Mother's Day, watch it with your mom.
Watch it with the fam jam.
Let us know what she thinks.
Get your kids together, you know, on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Order some pizza.
Yes, and be like, we're gonna watch a squirt scene.
Yeah.
It's so fake.
Oh, let's leave it right there.
Okay.
Oh,
that was a beautiful conclusion.
Yes, it was.
You're welcome.
Well done.
Thanks,
well
Kiki,
done.
Carla. Okay, let's talk about the list.
All right.
So, as you know, NOMOFOMO listeners, we love a good list.
God, we love a list.
And of course, like, when we're talking movies, there are so many lists.
Oh, completely.
There are so many lists, but we found a really good one. So basically, it's on this website that I found called Direct Expose. But it's called The Lowdown on every movie sequel to look forward to in 2019 and beyond.
Oh, so we can add the dirt 2 to this.
Are you ready? Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
She's
And
ready.
Grease 3.
And Grease 3. Yes.
Speaking of squirting, Carla got like real
I'm
excited.
just like,
Okay.
Just kidding, it's not on the list.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah, are we starting at 10?
We're starting at 1.
Oh, starting at 1.
Okay.
Okay.
After more than 30 years, after the first installment, Paramount Pictures is bringing back aboard the USS Enterprise for more of the high-flying fun that made Top Gun such a sensation in 1986.
yes.
Top Gun, okay.
We are riding through the danger zone. I'm ready for this. I want this.
I
There
want
you
some
go.
Tom Cruise post-Scientology.
Take my breath away.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about who we think would play Tom Cruise now.
Well, won't it be Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise is playing Tom Cruise.
Is that right?
Who else would it be?
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
it's like it's in modern times now.
Oh, he's all
Yes.
grown up.
He's grown up.
Yeah, so
Maverick.
it's not a remake, it's a sequel.
Exactly.
Okay. all
Okay.
right, okay.
What else?
Number 2, which I am living for.
Yes.
Is Indiana Jones 5.
All right.
I love Indiana Jones. I grew up with Indiana Jones. I've watched every single one. I love it. I love all the thrills. I love the eating the brains of the monkey.
Yes.
I love all of that. The turbans, the
boulder.
everything. All of it. All of it.
The
The
running.
ropes.
The
The rope. The running. The ropes. The hats.
Yes.
All of it.
Harrison Ford given
Yes.
all the sex.
Fedora.
His earring.
You know what?
Does that make it
Do
into
not
the
get
movie?
that twisted. When I was watching that, I found him to be so attractive.
He's so sexy.
So sexy. Mm-hmm. Daddy.
Daddy Ford.
What else?
Okay, all
and
right,
he
you
ended up
guys-
marrying an older white guy, so there you go. I guess his
My dream-
fantasy came
my dream
true.
came
Right?
You
Where's
know,
your earring,
You
Fanny?
actually would be a good Indiana Jones for Halloween.
Oh, maybe I'll be Indiana.
That would be perfect. You just need to wear brown pants, brown shirt, brown fedora, and have a rope in your
Well,
hand.
we're going to Tommy Bahama when we go to Palm Springs
There you
next
go.
month.
Done.
And just to be clear, I am at least 3 decades younger than Harrison Ford. Okay,
Yes,
let's just be clear.
Let's get that straight.
Okay, you guys. This one, I actually never even watched the first one. Space Jam 2.
Oh, Space Jam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Michael Jordan, will he be in it?
Well, so what it says is that this movie was released in 1996.
Yeah, the Space Jam. I can remember that song.
Well, that's the soundtrack. I got the soundtrack, but I didn't watch the movie.
Well,
Exactly.
kids these days would have never watched Space Jam because it's too old.
And
This
do you
is
know that
too-
it made
yeah.
more than $6 billion?
Oh my god.
Really?
Yes, with all the things, with like the novel, the pinball games, the video games, the toys,
Right,
the
right, right.
movie,
Yeah.
all of it. $6 billion. Don't get it twisted. I know because all of the people in my high school were wearing those Space Jam jerseys.
Sure.
You know, that was
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Space Jam, if you want to set us up with a promo code, we will talk about this every damn week.
We'll do a choreography to the original Space Jam.
choreo, honey.
Oh, yeah.
All about it. We'll throw it back to 1996.
We need,
The Jack Swing.
Oh my God! Yes,
Oh my
honey.
God.
we need
Okay.
some of that Space Jam money.
Okay,
Yeah,
done.
we do. Yeah, we do. This one again, I don't know. Maleficent 2, Disney's classic. Is coming
Okay,
back.
well,
Snow White,
No, I don't
That's
think that needed to
weak.
happen.
No, I don't think so either.
Let's move
That's
on.
pretty weak. Okay, next. Pirates of the Caribbean 6? Oh my God.
No.
Can you stop already?
Stop it. No, we're done.
Stop.
There's not enough
We're
guy liner
so-
left for Johnny Depp.
There's no, like, the beads are done. There's, like,
Totally.
you know,
The pirate
stop it.
shirts. Just don't
Stop.
do it. No.
We're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gladiator 2.
What?
Yeah.
No.
It's happening.
With Russell Crowe?
Well, it doesn't really say, but
Okay.
it shows his picture, so
Okay.
maybe.
Would have to be, I guess.
Oh, you know what? He's in that same situation. A check is a check. He had a big like estate sale at his home. He went through a really nasty divorce. Oh. So he
He
had to
had an estate sale. Now that is an estate sale I would love to go to.
Allie breaks for estate sales.
I do.
Oh, it was ridiculous. I'll send you. We can put it up on the web pages because
Yes.
John Oliver bought some of the ridiculous things that he was selling from his estate sale.
Oh my God.
And a lot of it was actually original Gladiator, like cod pieces
I
and
do
all
it.
that kind of thing. So
Okay, I'll put these in the show notes. I've been
Okay.
a little bit lazy with the show notes on the website, but I'll do it for that. Because
Okay.
now I want to know.
yes.
What else?
It's kind of saying Men in Black International.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm-
I'm
I'm-
doing
I'm-
Men in
I'm-
Black. Sure.
I'm getting jiggy with Will Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I think it might be a new. I don't think Will Smith is gonna do it, but yeah, it says
But if it's
first
new
released
people-
in 1997.
Yes.
And with the second and third installments being serious box office successes, it makes total sense that the studios would be interested in another sequel. So,
Okay.
22 years ago.
Wow.
What happened?
the MIB.
Oh my god.
That was a good song. Men in Black. The Galaxy Defenders.
Okay.
Well, you got to give P. Diddy something to do, right?
Okay, you guys, this one I'm excited for. Bill and Ted.
Yes.
Oh my god, remember Bill and Ted? Excellent Adventure?
Yes.
Stop.
Yes,
for
they
real.
put it out on Facebook.
You guys, okay, so it
this
says
is so exciting.
the most
So
lovable
good.
metalhead slackers to ever have their own movie. Bill and Ted are ready to follow through on their previous film predictions that they'd one day save the world. Almost 30 years after their bogus adventure, Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are ready to see if those slackers can create the ultimate song.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
we sometimes stop for gas in San Dimas
Yes.
when we're driving from Palm Springs to LA.
Oh my
and
God.
Only because I'm like,
We have to.
excellent.
When they do the big show and like Abe Lincoln,
Oh my
I think
God.
he's like,
I
I love San Dimas.
Oh, they've got a lot
God,
of pressure.
so good.
You
Oh,
cannot
Wild
wreck
Stallions.
this.
I'm
It has
so
to be
ready
good.
for this.
We're gonna go. You know what? Let's see who we can call to get tickets to the premiere.
Oh my god.
Completely.
We're
Have to
going.
go.
We're
I'll wear my
going.
Abe Lincoln hat.
Oh my god, perfect. Perfect.
And this might be, that's maybe like a good Halloween costume too, even though we can't stop talking about Halloween.
100%. Halloween's our
So-
favorite time. I love it.
Yeah.
We will always talk about Halloween.
Forever, every single day.
Every episode we'll talk about Halloween.
Are there any more, babe?
There is just one, it's called McLean, so it's basically Die Hard. You know,
Oh.
those will also never die.
Okay.
Die Hards will never die because
Well, they
they're just
are
going to
dying
be a
hard.
constant thing.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice,
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
What?
master of kid-friendly macabre movies, Tim Burton is on board to bring Beetlejuice 2 to the big screen. Finally.
If Winona Ryder is in it, I'm
Oh,
in.
it has to be.
Can
Yes.
anybody guess when it was released? The first Beetlejuice.
87, 88?
Girl, 87. Oh
Are
my
you
god,
serious?
snaps. Yes.
Carla,
It's, you know
Shit.
what? Like I said, it is scary in here.
you are a savant when it comes
right?
to these
It is
things.
so scary.
I don't know.
Catherine O'Hara? Fuck. Do you remember her in that movie?
Catherine
She was?
O'Hara. Was
Yes.
it Beetlejuice?
Yes. She
No.
was Winona Ryder's mom.
Oh my god.
She was
She better be in
everything.
the sequel.
Oh, she better. Fuck. Well,
Wow.
Schitt's Creek is ending, so...
So she has.
She's
so
gonna-
maybe
She's got
that's.
time.
so
She's gonna need that
got
money.
Nothing but time.
exactly.
Okay. And then it's called Doctor Sleep.
Okay.
Even horror movie averse audiences can agree that The Shining is an important piece of cinematic history.
Okay.
It's a part of the U.S. National Film Registry for being culturally, historical, or aesthetically significant after all. Stephen King wrote a sequel, Doctor Sleep, in 2013, and now it's getting made into a movie.
Oh. Okay, I'm down with a little horror.
So there's
Okay. What did you call me?
that. How dare you? Okay, you guys.
I thought there was one more. How many do we have?
Well, I don't know, there's a lot on here. It's not actually a list, it just tells me, anyway, it just keeps on going. But, Coming to America 2!
Don't kid.
I swear to God, it says right here, it's been more than 30 years since African Prince Akeem came to America in the hit comedy Coming to America.
We're
and at
squirting.
long last, he's ready for another trip to the good old US of A. Eddie Murphy will be reprising his role and probably many others within the film, as he's known to do.
Get me a
So-
paper bag. I am hyperventilating. You guys, this can't be real.
This
And I've
is
got a
Oh my God, you guys,
Zamunda
wait, there's
t-shirt.
more, there's more. Can I read you more?
Yes.
Yes.
After Prince Akeem finds out he has a long-lost son
Yes, he
living
does.
in America,
Yes, he
comes
does.
back to meet the surprise heir of Zamunda.
Yes.
Filming is set to start this year, with most of the original cast on board to come back for Coming to America 2. It will hopefully grace the big screen in 2020.
Oh my God. Okay,
There
we
you
need
go.
to have a little prayer circle, a little manifestation moment.
Yes.
Because Allie and I are going to New York in 2 weeks.
Okay.
If
Okay.
we see Coming to America being filmed,
Oh my God! Let's
my
put it
life
out
will
there.
be
Imagine.
fucking complete.
Well, we're putting it out there. We are putting it out there.
Okay,
This is so good.
let's pray right now
Yes,
to
Get our hands together.
Hands together. Pray to the Almighty Beyonce.
Uh-huh.
Pray to the Almighty Weave of Beyonce.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And let it be done.
There we go.
that was
All
good. I need to smoke a cigarette.
I know.
I don't smoke, but I might start because I am that satisfied from that news.
That was so satisfying. That was like, this is like the antithesis of how we felt about the dirt, you know? Like, this feels good, satisfying. Like, we're ready to go.
We're ready.
That was so good.
Okay, there's so many more movies, but we'll post this link on our Facebook page so you can check out the full lowdown on what movies are coming up. There's a ton.
Brava.
It's kinda great.
That was
Brava.
amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
All right, team. I think we did a really good job staying on track this week.
We sure did.
We like movies.
We love
I know,
movies.
this could go on for weeks, but this is the point in the cast where we are going to start dishing on Drag Race. So for those of you who are not watching or are not caught up and you don't want a spoiler, this is your spoiler alert. We are going to be spilling all the tea. About last night's episode, which was epic. Epic. This season is really delivering.
This is like the renaissance of Drag Race. Like, it hasn't been this good since season 5.
Well, and so last night there's so much to talk about, but I just want to start by saying that I think one of the funniest things I've ever heard is that, yes, they're having the Drag Olympics.
Yes.
Right? And the two names of the countries that were competing, there was Turkmenistan.
Pantistan. Yes.
And Glamazonia.
Come
on.
I want to be from Glamazonia.
Funny.
I know.
That's funny.
I want to be from
And also, when Rue started in saying, okay, Skorts fans.
Yes.
So now I think we should call it Skort Ball.
Yes. And so they got to pick the teams because they started out with a mini challenge, which we need to talk about.
Oh, God.
They were doing Galisthetics.
Oh, my God.
Which was our 80s fitness dream come true. We were watching it, I was like, okay, Kiki Carla is having a moment right now.
She's
with
living.
all of this 80s jazzercise, lycra, the hair, it was
the colors,
so good.
The moves. I was
things.
a puddle on the floor.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, it was so good. And they brought in a queen that I had never seen before.
Love Connie.
Love Connie.
I had never heard of Love Connie before.
Nor I know.
Apparently she's got quite the following.
Well, now the world knows of Love Connie.
Yes.
I want to know if she actually has her own workout videos.
Well,
because I would do those.
If she doesn't, she should now because that
it's
is
coming.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to find some Love Connie. I'm going to post this on our page as well.
Okay, fabulous. And I love how her drag was like kind of ratchety, skaggy drag. Like
She wasn't even tucked.
No, not at all.
And I love that. You know what I mean? Not all drag needs to be tucked, girl.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was a meaty tuck.
That really was. Yeah.
It was not even a tuck. It was
It
just
was
there.
But it was just there.
the meat.
It was just meat.
Yeah, it was just meat.
The queens, but I thought the queens were really, really good.
Oh, outstanding.
Akiria
Right?
was one of the winners. She killed it, as did Plastique. Okay,
Well,
Plastique
okay.
Tiara has not been at the front of anything this season, but she's kind of killing it.
Well,
Yeah.
she killed it, but also did not bring full-on personality. Like, the judges told her, they read her a little bit, saying that she was good and she got the moves, but she's still kind of, like, hiding behind her beauty, right? Which, I mean, girl has got beauty for days.
Oh, right?
Like, there's no doubting that. No doubting that she's an amazing, fierce queen. But I feel like that personality, like, when you look at her, she's always the first one to go and give somebody a hug. Or she's like, I feel like she's such a kind human being, but I feel like she's not, like, sassy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think
Like,
she's a bit too young for that still.
Totally.
So, yeah, I think she's got, you're totally right. Like, she's got so much going on for her. She just needs a little bit more notches on her bedpost, really.
Well, the mini challenge really they did have some sass. Okay, Miss Vanjie. Okay, did you see her crawling across the floor?
And
it was so stupid.
Okay,
I wanted more.
So the mini challenge, they had to do a little like
solo,
jazzercise
solo
number.
aerobics moment.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Evie was flipping all over the place.
Oh
That
my
was
god,
insane.
Which I mean, and
crippled herself
and
in the process.
she
Well,
hurt
no,
her-
that was in the maxi challenge.
Yeah, that was in the maxi challenge where she hurt herself. But even what she did was like insanity. Like she's just like this like Gumby basically.
Yeah.
But one of the funniest things that because her and Silky had a little go-to at the very beginning of the episode.
They're getting spicy.
And they're getting spicy with each other. And it was so funny because she's like, Spooky Dookie, go home. Because she was like, but it's so funny because, she is reading everybody for not changing up their look and doing all of this stuff, yet she's just doing spooky dooky all the time. So, I mean, she needs to kind of come back to earth a little bit.
Well, and Evie went for her. Like, even in that very first intro moment of the show, she's like, you know what, Silky? She's like, I can't wait to be in the bottom two with you just to send you packing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's getting
It is
dirty
getting there.
already.
Absolutely. Talking about dirty, when Silky did her like semi death drop, whatever that was, in the mini challenge, and then she just like did like a reverse like belly flop, and
then what was she eating? What was she eating?
She pulled some food out of her bra.
Okay, I just don't know what it was. Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Cookie or something.
Oh my
I
God.
also just want to talk about RuPaul's outfit when he came out in that like not that beautiful
runway
gold
look.
number. We'll get to that because that was incredible.
So
but
good.
what in the fuck was that outfit? Like from the top up, great.
Fine.
Great. Like if you're gonna wear some sort of like athleisure,
But old man.
they were like wide-legged, and his little shoes that he was wearing weren't even sneakers. They were like a black,
just black.
like a black dress shoe or
They
something.
were like an orthopedic.
Yeah,
like
I get it, but like I don't get it because it's like you're on TV, boo. Like first of all, do not do the wide leg.
yeah.
He could have done something that was a little thinner, slimmer, cuter, you know, and a cute little like I don't know, Adidas sneak would have been just fine.
Agree. Like some sort of like cuffed like sweatpants or something like that.
Totally.
Yeah. Agree.
I hated.
But you never like RuPaul out of drag.
Well,
You never do.
I don't.
You don't like his suits?
I love his suits.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like when he has his collar out, it makes me so mad because I'm like, tuck that motherfucking collar in. Tuck it in. Stop wearing it out all the time. And why are your collars so big?
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, I get it. He has a style, but anyway, that's. I just want to put that out there because I was getting mad about it last night.
Do you feel better?
I do.
love
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So the Drag Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay, can we just talk for 1 second about how this season they are putting these queens through the ringer?
Oh my god.
Because not only do they have to do like their whole runway show, the whole thing.
Yes.
No, the choreography that they made them do for the Drag Olympics. There was an opening ceremonies.
Yes.
They had a fanography number.
Yes.
They had a voguing number, and then they had the shablam number.
Shablamjula.
And the closing ceremonies.
I know.
Like, it was hard work, and you could see that
so much.
choreographer was, like, really working them,
Oh yeah.
and they were all bringing it.
Yeah.
I actually was really happy.
I was scared for them.
He was not as sassy as that last choreographer that came
Avianis.
through.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a bitch. This guy, Trevor?
Travis Wall, yeah.
Travis, yes. He was lovely and actually is like nice to the queens.
Well, he's a teacher.
I know, and he gave them love. Like, I mean, isn't the other one a teacher too?
Yeah, but I think Giannis comes more from like that like performing side, and then probably teaches, to like pay the bills or whatever.
Right.
Whereas Travis is like Travis Wall is like the Shangela of So You Think You Can Dance.
Yes,
he didn't win season 2.
Yeah. I watched his season. And it was incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But his mother she owns a dance studio, so I think he's been teaching dance since he was like probably 10 years old.
Okay.
So I think he's just more of a natural teacher.
Do you know what I love to say?
Yes.
So you think you can dance?
Welcome our Gigi's.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But I agree with you. I agree, like, both that Travis was so much more accommodating, but like those routines were not easy by any stretch of the imagination. They brought it, all of them. Like even Scarlett, who was so unfortunate, she even brought it too.
I know. Well, and I felt bad for her because, there are a lot of things that go into being an epic queen.
Yes.
Sometimes dancing is just not one of your things.
Exactly.
And so she was honest about it. I have to say, I feel like she really held her head high.
Yeah,
she
owned
did.
it.
She
She
did.
left in a great way.
Yes.
She really did.
Yeah. So she owned that she does what she does, and I felt really bad. Okay, we're obviously jumping ahead that she did leave.
Yeah.
This week.
Sorry.
That's okay. But
We all know.
I feel like actually the episode that she was leaving, I kind of started to like her.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
didn't get
became-
enough airtime or something, or she didn't show enough. So
Well, it's kind of nice that she realized and recognized that maybe she was being a little too high on herself, you know, and she was like, you know what, my girls probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
And she was saying that, and it kind of was endearing a little bit.
Yes.
That, you know, and I also feel like she's a smarty pants. Like, I
She
feel
really
like
is.
she's well spoken. She knows her shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like she's a proper queen. I think she's gonna go far. Like,
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to buy tickets to see her.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
like, probably by August she'll be here.
We'll see
Yeah,
what she
yeah.
does. We'll see what she does.
Yeah.
What her performing is
Because
like.
at first I was like, get her off
I
because she's
know.
so annoying.
I remember, yeah.
But what a wonderful way to leave
Yeah.
on a high note where people actually want a little bit more of you.
Totally.
And she did do a good job, even though
She
she
did.
was very concerning.
Yes.
In the in the practicing, she was not doing well, but she did bring it at the end, and
Yeah.
I think that they cut her out of some of the
They did.
scenes.
They did.
Where she was maybe flailing about
Totally.
a little bit, but so what? I mean, I thought she was really good. Let's talk about who was really good.
Okay.
Can we talk about Akira's
Akira.
twerking?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my
She was
God.
twerking
You know what?
for the gods.
Okay, I feel like has been a little silent, but she's coming through, girl.
She's peaking
She
at the
is,
right time.
100%.
Do you remember it was 2 weeks ago when she did the Fringe?
Yeah, yeah.
And we said, like, watch out, she's coming.
Totally.
So she didn't really do it for us at first, but now she's slowly getting on
yeah.
our radars,
Totally.
and we're realizing how fantastic she is.
Absolutely, and how smart she is too, because she was the captain of the team. She picked the girls right.
Yes.
Because she knew exactly what kind of challenge it was, what kind of girl she needed on her team, and it worked out really well. She was a good team player.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she also said that she's like, I'm not the best dancer.
Yeah.
But I want people on my team that can dance like nobody's business and give
Exactly.
it 100%.
Now let's talk about who did bring it. Okay,
Well-
Vanjie has some moves.
Vanjie's
I didn't even know
so-
she was started off as a backup
Yeah,
dancer.
that.
yeah,
We
with
found
Alexis
out.
Mateo. That's
Yeah.
how she got into it.
She was
yeah.
incredible.
Brilliant.
For those chicken heads. Do you know
Even-
what a chicken head is?
No, tell us.
Oh, well,
What's
just
a chicken head?
All the
Okay.
chicken heads, be quiet. All the chicken heads, be quiet. That's all I know. I don't really know what it means.
well, just imagine the way that like a chicken, you know, when they walk or like how they move.
Oh, yeah.
And then how that relates to the SEX.
Oh.
Oh, girl.
So that's what she's talking about when she says, I was dancing for them chicken heads.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Just bobbing that head.
Well, she was
Bottom
getting.
of
She
the
had a little.
head.
She had a little mini breakdown.
Let's talk about that.
Okay,
talk
but you
about
guys,
that?
she's had a breakdown pretty much every episode.
No,
has
but
she
this
not?
This
one
was
was-
the real one.
Oh.
Yeah, she was getting emotional.
This was like, you could tell this was real. She was so emotional because here's the thing, her voice changed drastically. It was no more Cookie Monster.
Yeah, it's true.
It was like almost like Jackson Maine from like Stars Born. It was like very low.
Yes,
And then all of a
yes.
sudden her accent just disappeared as well.
Yeah,
If you rewatch it, it's
Right,
like
good call.
So, yes. I mean, I was like, who's talking?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, she went there. But then it was disappointing because then her runway didn't reflect at all what
Did
she
you
knew
notice?
she had to do.
No, exactly. So she was saying that she needs to bring it and she just needs to stop wearing the same kind of silhouette. Yeah, she did the same thing. And also, she did like the bunny, which had already been done by Plastique before, like last
Exactly.
week. And you're like, well, what are you doing? And also,
Yeah, that wasn't good.
her shoulders and her arms were a completely different color than her legs.
Yeah.
That I'm surprised.
It was bad.
I'm surprised the judges didn't call her out on that because that was so weird.
Yeah.
It's like she had yellow upper and then like nude colored bottom. Like
Well, I think she's been put on watch. Like she needs to step her pussy up.
If she
Yeah.
wasn't so good in her team, in the team of Glamazonia,
Yeah.
I think she would be in
would've been on
trouble
the
because
bottom.
she was outstanding. Like her dancing was so good.
Yes.
Her makeup was so good. Like her presence. Whereas like bringing it back to Raja, who I can't stand, she needs to go now. I mean, she's a
I
good
think
dancer.
she's
Her
next.
look was, she better be. Her look was good, but the thing is like, even like you're watching this and of course there's people, it's live audience,
yeah.
you know, you can tell it's being filmed once because they kept in all the mistakes and everything. But the thing is that like you can see Raja's face not zoning in or
No.
focusing like how Vanjie's was. Like Vanjie was
Exactly.
doing that like tiger eyes
Yeah.
through the middle of the camera,
Absolutely.
giving us all the
Tunnel vision,
sex.
that's it.
Completely.
Yeah.
And Raja, like, you know, it was just
was
like
kinda
she
looking
was
around
giving
a
it
little bit.
away in her
Yeah.
face. And it was just like, where's the performance?
I know.
So I kind of felt like there was a bit of me that I'm like, I wish she would have gone home because that actually was worse than bad dancing. Was
That's true.
like having that lack of focus and being so out of character.
But I also feel like that runway too is kind of what what made it for her. Like that's like the, you know, obviously the lip sync, but then the runway too. She had a beautiful outfit on.
It was gorgeous.
I liked it.
For sure.
I too wasn't a big fan of the thing around her eyes where you can see her face, but no, quickly, I actually wanted to know, like, we always talk about Vanjie's one-liners.
Yes.
She had 3 really good
one-liners. Did she?
So, one was the struggle bus with Scarlett. She's like, oh, here comes the struggle bus with Scarlett again. And then when she was talking about Travis, like, just kind of... trying to, you know, teach them all the dance moves.
Yeah.
She said, oh my God, it was just like he saw Michael Jackson's ghost. And then, of course, my favorite one is, like, get hit with the Rhythm Nation stick.
Yeah.
That was so good.
God.
These girls need to get hit with the Rhythm Nation stick.
There you go. Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
she's so good.
Oh, so good. And
Vanjie,
of course,
thank you.
when she says, you know, it's just like that old school saying, you know, if you don't got something nice to say, just tell them bitches to go home.
That's right. Hi, girl.
I would like to give a special honorable mention from last night as well.
Yes.
To Michelle Visage, who was dressed like she just stepped off the set of I, Tonya.
Right?
That hair.
The hair was hilarious.
Kind of gross glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
good.
all so good.
Yeah.
I love Michelle Visage. She brings me all the good feels.
Yeah.
And when she comes here, I desperately want to interview her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's my favorite.
She's gold.
Yeah. Her look was
funny.
so good. Her drag is so good right now. I mean, fuck.
She's giving it. Yeah.
But yeah, of course, like back to the challenge, Brooklyn Heights. We knew she was going to bring it. She was so good.
A gold turban.
She makes it
on
look
the
easy.
runway. Yes,
Everything on the runway. It was
absolutely.
it was fabulous.
So runway. Okay, runway.
Oh, yeah,
all
let's
the
do runway.
glitters. Of course, we have RuPaul starting us off. I screamed.
Oh my God.
Screamed. This was like vintage RuPaul, but then reimagined into the best way.
It was so good. It was all sparkly. It was all shiny. It was...
That gold gown.
How did they even... What is that even made of?
I don't know. I was looking at it, like I was looking at it again, because some of the pieces were like a little bit wrinkled, so it was like definitely like some kind of material that they constructed. So I mean,
well, because if you looked at the top, it was very angular.
Yeah, it was very
edgy
robotic.
looking,
yes,
and then when it went down, it was in strips. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it was some sort of like metally,
yes,
but like a softer metal.
I'll tell you what it was. It was Gold Party City balloons.
There you go. There you go.
What else?
Go
could
back
it
to
be?
Party City, bitch.
where you belong. Oh my God, her wig, her makeup. It was just so good. It was just like it was RuPaul at her best.
It was beautiful.
1000%.
Yeah.
So then we had Akira, who served us pageant realness. Like that's the thing. Like we were kind of getting sick of that look with the Latrice Royale. But the thing is that when Akira does it, it's just like she takes it. It's just so perfection. Like it is just like 10 out of 10 in every single aspect. Like the wig is so sick.
Oh my God.
And every piece of jewelry, like it's so ornate, it's so dynasty and ridiculous, you know, old school drag, but then it's so perfection.
But she made it
so you're
work,
not bored,
right?
You
She
know,
made it work.
exactly.
And she, like the more, like more on more, she can make work really well.
Exactly.
Like, she knows how to do it right.
Yeah.
No, her gown was gorgeous.
She might have a spot in our top 3. Like
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
think-
feeling
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
Me too.
She's coming up. She's coming in hot.
Yes.
She is.
Let's talk about Evie's look.
Okay.
I thought that was
I
really
liked it.
brave and
Yeah.
cool.
Yes.
That she had a really bad ankle and, she's obviously got some health problems, which was talked a lot about on the show.
Yes.
And I have so much respect for her because she wasn't making it an excuse. She wasn't complaining. She was just saying, this is the situation. I have this condition.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be in a wheelchair, which broke my heart. I was getting teary-eyed for her. But she wasn't making it a big sob story. She's like, this is just how it is.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so the fact that she came out with a cane, serving up this, like, what did Rue call her? Like an old hooker or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Like a handy-capable whore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah, come on. So funny.
It was so good, and I think at this point, she's either going home next week or she's winning the whole damn thing.
I agree.
So-
Anything's
totally
possible.
agree.
I think
totally
that
agree.
our tops have been shifting quite quickly this season.
No, but Brooklyn Heights is still
Brooklyn
up there, y'all.
Heights,
Brooklyn
She
Heights.
has
absolutely.
not moved from the top
Yeah,
for me.
she's
Agreed.
still
She
in the
has
top.
not moved.
That
Her
look,
extended cigarette,
Oh my God.
the turban.
the way she was turning out when she was
Oh
walking
my God.
down
Norma
the runway.
Desmond, realness. It was freaking fantastic. fantastic.
I got the chills again.
She knows how to move, and it's like, and you know that she felt good in that outfit. It's like, I want that turban. I want that turban.
I thought she was gonna win.
I want her. I want that.
I want it. I want it. I want everything.
her. I want her and Velji, and I want them to kiss in front of me.
Didn't you think she was gonna win?
No, because the thing is that everybody knew this is her wheelhouse. So like, the thing is, it's somebody like a Kyria who is not like a traditional dancer, who doesn't do like the 5, 6, 7, 8. But the thing is that like every time she was asked something, okay, can you try it? She's like, I'll try. She worked really hard. So I think that was just kind of expected of Brooklyn, but somebody who wasn't as proficient, who wasn't a professional dancer, for them to come and then come up to her level, I think that's why Akira won. Yeah,
Akira deserved it. She did a great job, and it's nice to see her getting her moment.
Yes,
I agree.
She deserves it.
One thing I want to say about Scarlett's look, Scarlett Envy on the runway. Do you know what she described it as?
No.
Expensive hippie.
No.
There is no such thing. There is no such thing. So do not be an expensive hippie ever, because it will get you taken off.
Exactly. Bye. And she was wearing butterfly clips. What's next? Like a banana clip?
Right?
That would have been actually really good for the mini challenge.
Right?
Oh yeah, for the mini challenge for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. When she was wearing her jean jacket for the mini challenge.
So good. So good. So many good moments. Okay, and next week?
Yes.
Okay, I can't wait.
It's gotta be Snatch Game.
It's gotta be Snatch Game.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
We gotta be getting close.
I think it is. I think I'm willing to bet my children that it's Snatch Game next week.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, and a best saying I think of the night is RuPaul at the very end where she said, "You're all my sheroes."
Yes.
How cute was that?
So
I love
good.
that.
I love it so
That's
much.
what keeps us watching.
100%.
Completely. It's the feels, it's the looks, it's the choreography.
All the things.
It's all the shade.
Yes.
We love it so much. So if you haven't gotten into it, Netflix, you can go back on Netflix.
I know. Start watching from season 1.
Yes. Get into it.
Get into it.
It's when they use Vaseline over the camera lens. It was hilarious.
Also, if you start watching, this podcast is going to make so much more sense.
Exactly.
No, you'll love us even more.
Then you can go back on all these episodes too.
There you go. There you go. You have so many things to do. You better get on it.
Yeah, you better. Like Brittany says, you better work, bitch.
Work, bitch. I know, it took us a while.
You're like, who?
What?
Brittany.
I don't know her.
Who's she?
It's Brittany, bitch.
All right, well, thanks. I think that comes to the end. This is a long podcast this week. We had so much to talk about, and I feel like we could keep going, but let's make sure that there's still a little bit of FOMO left in our listeners.
Absolutely.
Totally. Stay tuned for the movie credits, which will be the next hour. So
yeah, they'll be scrolling.
Totally.
Thanks for listening all the way to the end. I can't believe you did that. We love you so
Bravo.
much.
Love you guys.
Thank you for all of your good feedback. We're getting really good feedback, and we really appreciate it. So
yes, we do.
Keep telling us what you want to hear, what's working, what's not working. We're open.
Yeah.
And of course, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, all those things. They all really help.
They do really help. And also, please go and rate us.
Yes, please.
On all the sites.
And now we're on Spotify.
Oh, right. We are on Spotify, which is awesome. So, yeah, please go and rate us because that, again, just kind of helps us a little bit more. And we love you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody say squirts.
Squirts.